While I definitely spent these last couple of weeks underestimating this deck, the Stride Deckset Messiah has finally released here in Japan, and unfortunately this time I did not get the premium version of it. Unlike the Chronojet one, I got just the regular one. The main reason is because I'm moving to a new apartment in less than a month and I have a lot of furniture that needs buying, and the cost difference between the regular one and the premium one is that of a whole piece of furniture, like, you know, a proper chair or something like that. So I was like, I think it's a smarter adult decision to avoid the premium deck set this time around, and especially when I don't really use the playmats or deck boxes that these things come with. Anyway, hello everyone and welcome to potentially the next best deck, question mark. So Messiah, I honestly was not expecting too much from this deck when it was getting revealed, because I was like, okay, seems good, but I don't think it's going to be Jet or Eva or anything like that. And then it came out and everyone was testing it here in Tokyo really hard on Friday, and now it is Saturday night, and tomorrow is the first WGP in Kyoto of this season, which this is legal for. And on Friday, a lot of people realized this deck is actually pretty good. And on top of that, you can also play some of the kind of generic cards in brand which don't require orders, such as the Hammer Girl from Heroes or Taser Lage from Prison, in order to make some matchups really good. The Hammer Girl makes the Mirror really good. The Taser Lage makes Eva basically unable to beat you at all, and that's pretty sad because, as you could probably tell, I am an Eva main and I'm pretty sad. By the way, this playmat was given to me as a present by Miltaya-san, so thank you very much. I appreciate it. I retweet his events a lot because I just think they're cool and I always participate at them. So he was like, thank you for sharing my events all the time, here's a present. And I was like, oh my god, you don't gotta do that, that's so nice of you. So the community here is very nice. I recommend that if you speak at least a little bit of Japanese and you come here for holidays, you come by for a good time. Anyhow, let's take a look at what is inside of the box. So this is the regular one that you get. This cost me 5,000 yen, so that is probably around like $40 or so. So probably going to retail for about 50 bucks in English as the Chronojet Stride Deckset Messiah Chronojet. Sorry, too many words. But anyway, it's probably going to be the same price as the Chronojet one. So what you get in this is you get one full complete deck with one of each card being in triple rare in the main deck, and then one of each unit being an SP finish. And then you get a one short storage box, which is this, you know, and then you get the acrylic fighter's coin, 15 copies, and then the fighter's coin also in one, or like the fighter's coin, like whatchamacallit, stickers, which I really don't like. They're pretty terrible, to be honest. The ones at Chronojet weren't that great either. So then you basically remove this little protective cardboard and drop it on the ground, and you get a complete full art of the Messiah, as well as the little Link Joker and Brancate logos, as well as this beautiful little background as well on the side. So pretty cool. And let's see what we get when we open the product up. So the first thing we get is a brand new iPhone. Oh my god. So of course we have the this time the acrylic coins are silver, which looks pretty nice. I do like that. And then the stickers are gold as usual, but these come off. I don't like them too much. Like, they really scratch off super easily, so you need to be quite careful with them. I don't know what to, like, how to store them more carefully for them to not scratch off, but just them being in standby stacked together was already enough to scratch them off. I don't know if they like improved it or not this year, but I really hope so. I really hope so, because I do like the idea of it. Anyway, we take out the brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max here in the case. Sorry, the new iPhone 15 Pro Max, as you can see, there's been quite a few design changes, so it's a bit harder to take out. So there you go. This is the deck itself, all complete with the G-Zone inside as well. And then I think if we take this out, we will just have the storage box. So unfortunately, there's nothing extra. There's just cardboard that is to be thrown away, and you do get a nice little storage box that I really like to use. These actually basically go to tournaments all the time with stuff like this, so I can actually show you. So these like fit your deck super nicely. So I use like a Fire Emblem one usually, and as you can see, like, you fit 2 deck cases, and if you need dice, like for Shadowverse Evolve and Pokemon TCG, I need dice and stuff, so I usually like fits 2 deck boxes and a dice box. So pretty good if you use dice boxes like that, so I quite like them. But anyway, now we have this Messiah one, which is also very nice, so I do recommend checking this out and picking it up. So I'll just put this on the side here somewhere so it can just be kind of chilling. And let's take a look at the contents of the deck set itself, because of course this is the reason why you clicked on this video, to hear about the cards and effects if you haven't been keeping up. And of course, for those of you that are debating on if it's worth buying, I will also answer that for you as well. The answer is yes, it is very much worth buying. This is a very good product, although I think in English is releasing on the same day as set 10, so that might make things a little bit different. So anyway, the main grade 3 of course is this beautiful new art of Alter Ego Messiah. So you can see the triple rare foiling for us in Japanese. It looks like this. This isn't what the normal triple rare foiling actually looks like. This is only for the Stride Deckset. So Chronojet looked like this too, and of course Messiah does now as well. So it has a very powerful GB2, which means you have to have 2 or more units face up, and pay attention that it has 11k power and of course no persona ride. And so it says GB2, when any player's locked cards unlocked, you soul blast 1 to draw a card. And then Vanguard Circle, when your unit strides, counterblast 1 and lock one of your own rearguard. So choose an opponent's rearguard and lock it, and then your Vanguard gets plus 5k power. And of course locked cards are basically just turned face down and they cannot do anything. It's been around since pretty early into the game. Now, unlike the premium version of the Stride Deckset, this time we only get 1 copy of the foil and 3 copies of the non-foils. I think eventually I might pick up the foils because they're not that expensive. They're just like a couple hundred yen each, so like $2-3 or so. So probably just like bling out the cool parts of the deck without needing to bling out everything, I guess. So this of course is the same as Chronojet, where it's 11k power, but I think I will just pull out the crest already, why don't I, and tell you the secrets of the church that you should know. Where do they put the crest? Where is it? All right, I found it. It was at the back. So the crest this time is also back, as is with all Stride deck sets. And one thing I noticed, because I wasn't sure if this was going to be just for Chronojet or not, but on the text side you can see they actually put Planet Cray, which is also really sick. So just a regular crest here. You do get the super shiny foily one, of course, if you get the premium version of this, but it does not come in a like frame the way the Chronojet one did. So this of course says that you can stride, but you can only ride grade 3 or greater Messiah Vanguards, and your Messiah grade 3's original power becomes 13k power. And during your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Messiah Vanguard, for each face up unit in your G zone, your front row gets plus 5k power. And this is the unique part of it: at the end of your turn, all of your opponent's locked cards unlock, and then you bind those cards. So lock is back in standard, but opponent locking is not really. It paralyzes the intercept that you cannot use it, and then that unit will get bound. So for one of the biggest current meta trends, that is Eva, this is bad news because Obscurate gets destroyed. So Obscurate just disappears into thin air. So this is the crest that you will be using, and it is of course very good. And of course this Messiah will also become 13k power. Now moving on to the next card, we have the grade 2 Arousal Messiah. It's called in Japanese. Awakening Messiah is what it's called in English, because of course they're not going to call it arousal, but if you read this katakana, of course you will know what it is, and then you'll tell me in the comments, oh my god, why did you not read the real name? So anyway, in the soul, when your grade 4 Messiah Vanguard is placed on Vanguard Circle, you can call this out to the rearguard circle from your soul, and if you did, soul charge 1 because this deck uses soul. And then if during this turn this unit has been unlocked, you can choose one of your other units in the same column as this unit and give it plus 10k for the turn. So basically what you do is you stride, you call this out to the back row in either the left or the right back row, and then you use the Alter Ego Messiah skill to lock this and lock one of your opponent's cards, and then when you unlock this through one of your stride skills, you basically give something that is in front of this the plus 10k power. So it's quite nice. You do get 1 foil copy, but a little bit of a spoiler alert, you get 3 more non-foil copies at the back. So it's pretty nice. And of course, it is a important combo piece, so I'm really glad they did this. Kind of wish they did this with a grade 1 for the premium players, especially for like Mazer gear. That would have been pretty cool as well. So speaking of which, we have the Asleep Messiah. So the art is really nice this time around as well. So this does say when this unit rides from Neon Messiah, you draw 1, and you also get the Alter Ego Messiah crest. So it's the exact same effect as the Mazer gear, and we just get 1 copy, just like the Mazer gear. And then this is the new Neon Messiah. So it's pretty nostalgic. Like, part of me does kind of wish I got the premium set just for the foils and stuff, but honestly it is just very beautiful. It's very nice to see it again, and you know, as a Brankgate main, I feel like a little bit disappointed in myself for not getting the premium set this time, but I'll see. I will pick up foils here and there, I think, as time goes on. So very beautiful, very beautiful, looks super nice. The starter of course does the same thing as always. When you ride over it going second, you draw an extra card. So then we have the Barifu clone. This is the Astro Rabe Dragon, exact same effect as Barifu. So GB2, if this turn any player's card has been locked, it gets plus 10k power. So if you achieve the condition that the deck wants to do, you get to get plus 10k. And then of course, when you would stride and discard this from hand as a stride cost, you draw 1, so the exact same as the Body Fu. Interesting thing is that this card actually gets taken out of the deck because you draw already a lot by soul blasting cards at the end phase when your stuff unlocks, and then drawing up to 4 cards at the end phase per turn, which is pretty insane. And on top of that, you also just want to make space for stuff like the things that I mentioned at the start of the video, because you already have enough draw power and combo pieces. So you get 3 copies in the main deck, but then they gave a 4th copy just like they did with Body Fu, so you get 4 in case you need 4, but trust me, you probably will not. So, you know, at least here in the early testing stages, you don't. This card you do want 4 times though, so this card's also really cool art. I really like it. It's one of the new units, Karatsu Krain, or Karata Krain, sorry. Oh, that said my sorry. So during your turn, if any player has a locked card, this unit gets plus 5k power, so it's a 15k attacker, and at the end of the battle, this unit attacked, if you have a Alter Ego Messiah crest, you can retire this unit to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and find a unit card that is grade equal to or lower than your Vanguard and call it to an empty rearguard circle as a locked card and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So basically you retire him, so he frees up a circle that you can call to as a locked, and this essentially will allow you to make sure you always do 5 attacks on your stride turns, because this, you know, will swing and then replace itself with a locked card, and then spoiler alert, your strides unlock yourself in battle phase. So when you unlock a card, even if it was like rested when it locked itself, any unlock card unlocks as stand. So that's very important. So you get 4 copies, very important combo piece. This will not be replaced whatsoever. Now, speaking of important combo pieces, we have the Arrestor Messiah, and again, we get 4 copies, one of them being foil. So this one says GB1, when this unit attacks, if you have a Messiah Vanguard, then for that battle, get plus 5k power, and at the end of the battle, you have to lock this unit. So by locking this unit, that means if you unlock it in mid-battle phase, it will be in stand phase, stand position, and that will allow it to attack again. And of course, with the crest, the power of the attacks will only get bigger. And that's been the main strength of this deck. Then we move on to the Perfect Guard, which of course is the Cosmo Wreath. Now with the kitty, look, there's a little cat here. So unfortunately this time I really kind of wished I had the 4 foils. It's a little bit unfortunate that I only have 1 now, but I think the more I open this, the more I'm like, I will go to a card shop tomorrow and start buying them, because I feel like I'm missing something. So honestly, it looks super cute, looks good. Even the common does look nice too, but there's something that just feels wrong about using common PGs. You know what I mean. Then we have the Destiny Dealer. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, you know? Destiny Dealer is our stride fodder, so when you would ditch this from hand for the stride cost, it is counted as a grade 3. And of course, if you have a Alter Ego Messiah crest while this card is in hand, you can discard it to search your deck or your drop for a Messiah grade 3, reveal it, add it to your hand, and if you search your deck, you shuffle your deck. So it does the exact same thing as the Steam Breath from the Messiah deck. And then this is the Sacrifice Messiah, one of the best parts about this deck, and it is the reason why you can get pretty greedy with your counterblast in it too. So Sacrifice Messiah says GB1 rearguard circle. At the end of the battle boosted, if you have a Messiah Vanguard, you can lock this card, and then if you do, you give your Vanguard plus 5k power, and then if you have no face-up damage, you can countercharge 1, and this is not once per turn, by the way. So if, let's say, you boost with this when you only have, let's say, like no face-up counterblast, right? You'll get to countercharge, and then you attack with your Vanguard that uses a counterblast, and you unlock this, and then it boosts again. You actually get to countercharge again because you again don't have any face-up counterblast because you just use it on your Vanguard. So very important piece, because again, it makes your Vanguard even more powerful. The power does matter. Plus 5k is always going to be big, and on top of that, the countercharge is not once per turn, so it kind of means you don't have to play like set orders just to play Bubble Mine and stuff like that. So basically, this is the Bubble Mine for the deck, but it potentially works as 2 Bubble Mines, which is pretty good, and it stays on the board. And then we have the Havik Claw. So Havik Claw, this card is kind of like the budget replacement for the grade 1 Mikani. So grade 1 Mikani ends up being a staple for this deck. So either a lot of people are running at 3 copies, but I think 4 might be correct as well. But if you don't have Mikani, or you didn't buy it, or you don't plan to buy it, this is a budget replacement. So he says it's a grade 1 with 5k shield and 8k power, and if you have a Messiah Vanguard, he gets plus 5k shield. There's a 10k shield, which is nice, of course. 10k shield is always good. And when when your other unit is unlocked, you can put this to soul. So it does provide 1 soul, which equals to 1 extra draw from the GB2 of the Alter Ego Messiah, but Mikani provides 2 soul, which equals, 1 card turning into 2 draws. It's pretty good, and it's a bit better than 1 card turning into 1 draw. So of course that is just part of the deal, but if you're playing this deck super competitively, you will probably not need this card, at least not for now. Then we have the common Brandgate Overtrigger. This one is a little bit trippy to see, but it is a Brandgate Overtrigger. I will add it to my collection. Oh, and the crits are I'm very thankful for this, because of course you can never have enough crits, right? I feel like I'm always running low on crits and heals, so definitely very thankful. We get the non-effect draws. Unfortunately, kind of wish they would just start putting the effect triggers into these as well. Like, you know, it is a banger of a product for the price that it is, but it would be even more banger if it had the, like, just common versions of the effect triggers as well. Like, that would be crazy good. And then of course we have 4 of the heals as well, with the reminder text of what the heal does. And now of course the stride. So this is the SP Exilix. Oh, they make us start with Exilix? No, that's not how we do this. We start with the actual first stride, Amnesty Messiah. So this is the SP pattern. It is the exact same as the Gear Chronicle one, and of course it is textured as well. God damn. So it's like with the strides, I actually quite like to see the original stride as well with the red border, because my next stages in Fate Riders were all SP, so I couldn't even appreciate it too much. And also this time around, the name, instead of being purple, is of course silver, which is like fitting for Brandgate, but it just, you know, doesn't look as special as the purple it did for you know, Dark State. So anyway, the Amnesty Messiah says to stride it, you just have to discard a, you know, equal to grade 3 or greater from your hand, and then stride it from face down. And then when this unit attacks, you can almost one and flip any G-Zone unit face up, and then you choose any number of locked cards between you and your opponent and unlock them, and you choose one of your rear guards, and for every unlocked card by this ability, the unit gets plus 5k power. So you basically need to unlock your stuff in order to get multiple attacks, and then of course give extra power to one of your rear guards, which can equal to a lot. Like, you can go into 4 self locks before unlocking everything, so that can be plus 20k to 1 rear for that final attack, which is pretty huge. I mean, there's 2 more attacks, but that thing will be extra huge. So it's technically even bigger than what Fate Rider can do, but Fate Rider also thinned your deck, so that was a bit different. So maybe that's kind of like the trade-off. So we do get 4 copies of this stride, and one of them is SP, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. And then, you know, the triple rare looks good too. I honestly quite like it. I'm honestly enjoying seeing this like red border now together with the brand logo here. So it's honestly very, very nice, and it's pretty nostalgic because of course this card was very expensive in its original printing, as it was only available as GR, and it would be kind of cool if they made the rarity for this GR just as like a little throwback. God, the Exilix is so cool, it's like throwing my camera off. So you can see here, Exilix Messiah has like, this art is just insane. Like, look at all the planets, everything going on in this art is insane. Like, it just feels like rain coming down. Like, they haven't gotten this fancy with a foiling pattern, I feel like, since like, I don't know how long. It's crazy. Look at everything going on, dude. SPs are so cool. I don't know why they made FFRs. This is just way too sick. So this beautiful frameless SP says, in the stride step, you have to discard specifically a grade 3 Messiah from your hand. So that's what the stride footer is for, to search out your Messiahs either from deck or grave, to make sure you can use this and go into this. And he says GB2, so you cannot be your first stride. When this unit attacks, count almost 1, and then you choose any number of your opponents and yours locked cards, and you may unlock them. And then for each, and then if you did unlock, you choose your rear guards that are in the same column as the rear guards unlocked by this ability and stand them, and for that turn all of your opponent units get plus 10k, and this gets a crit. So the crit is actually pretty annoying. So of course no guard restrict like next stage, you know, kind of like he didn't have guard restrict but he went into guard restrict, which, you know, that is just part of Chronojet's gimmick, right? We're not going to just add that to everything, we're going to stay true to the gimmicks. And of course for Exilix Messiah, this is pretty fitting as well. I hope that when this deck eventually gets updated, they do add some of the other strides and, like, you know, Lady Fencer and stuff like that. But man, looks super sick, just that one as well. And then this is the triple rare, which also looks phenomenal. Like, it is simply beautiful and just absolutely incredible looking. Like, wow, cannot get enough of it. So this is the Stride Deckset, and of course it is a very powerful product. So I 100% recommend pre-ordering this if you haven't already, because it is definitely a smart purchase in my opinion. Because right now, like, I haven't tested the deck set myself, but I have friends that are going on win streaks at locals between multiple different shop tournaments, just because of how good this deck is. So I'm actually very keen to get started on that process myself as well, because I also believe in this deck's power, and I'm pretty excited for a new Stride deck set to rock up the meta. Just a bit unfortunate because I feel like Ava is getting the short end of the stick, because this deck is just really good against her, because you lock and bind Obscudades and you can play Taser Lage to, you know, basically just stop the called Obscudades from attacking, which is pretty sad. But anyway, this has been a long enough simple unboxing video. Thank you so much to everyone that tuned in. If you like this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends if they are also considering picking up this product. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. And if you'd like to support me in other ways, consider becoming a YouTube channel member. I do various events and tournaments for my YouTube channel members, among other things. And of course, you can also check me out on my socials down in the description below. But anyway, that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.